Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Monday, May 25th, your financial news. It is Memorial Day in the United States. So if you have a chance, take a moment and, think about, thank all the folks who have supported us in our own armed forces and given the greatest sacrifice. I actually did just a little bit of digging about Memorial Day, and I was shocked to find out how far back it goes. It is listed again. Wikipedia is my source for this, but it has been observed since 1868. So a long time. What is that? Oh man, 160 some odd years or so. So again, take a moment. I've shared many times. Both of my parents served. So it is certainly a holiday that means something. They thankfully both survived, or whatever you want to call it. They did not lose their life, but they knew folks who did. So thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Thanks all the folks who have served. If you are a veteran, thank you for your service, and again for all the families out there who have lost a loved one. Now or even in your history. We should not forget and support, those soldiers, those families. So again, take a moment. But for most of us, Memorial Day is the unofficial start to the summer season. I don't know where you are and where you're at, but for me, it looks like it's going to be a hot one. Even in the Bay Area, I think temperatures are going to get over 90 today. So, and I think in Fresno, where I invest, it's going to be over 100. It gets hot. So it will be interesting to see if the pictures that we're all seeing on the internet continue. Pools are crowded, lakes are crowded. It's just it's people being people. So let's see what's going on. A couple of things that I think are interesting. Again, just because it's a holiday in the U.S. doesn't mean the world stops. Got some data out of Europe. The 5 largest banks are kind of reporting some March numbers now. Absolutely. Every day means every day. We are going to do this. Just got a shout out for doing this on Memorial Day. So thank you very much. Again, consumers make our economy go. And one of the things that we saw in the Great Recession is, at least for a moment in time, consumers got scared and saved. We are seeing our first numbers out of Europe. I expect them to be very similar to the US, but we will wait until we get them. It looks like in March, consumers, you and I, in Europe in this case, put away $20 billion, or actually euros, let's be fair, euros, for the month. A normal month is $3.8 billion. So that's a 5x hold. So it is, you can look at that one of two ways, right? And this is meaningful. We've got to figure this out. If the consumer changes their behavior, which again, we saw in the Great Depression, and we have yet to see if this is a big enough event. But if consumers continually outsave historical norms, our economy, the world economy, will slow down or recover slower. You've got to understand that. Because currency makes this thing go. We're a consumer-driven economy, right? So you can look at that 5x fold increase in March as either dry powder, sitting on the sidelines, ready to pounce, ready to deploy. You absolutely can think that. Or you can think, holy cow, we're in trouble. Because the more you save, the less currency is in the economy, and it's going to be a really long road to hoe. So again, we're going to have to watch this. Do I think it will always be a 5x increase normal? No, I think that's peak fear. But could it be 8x? Or could it be 8 billion instead of 4? Absolutely. This is important stuff we have to watch. Along those lines, staying in Europe, Germany reported today that they are officially in a recession. That is important to watch because Germany has been the outstanding economy in Europe. I believe they are the biggest, but they also, I know they had the largest growth, right? They were seen as the shining light. and they fell 2.2% in the latest quarter, making it back-to-back quarters, and they are now in a recession. Europe's in trouble. Asia's in trouble. We're in trouble, right? This is a world economy that is slowing down. So we've got to be careful. Next up, I find it odd that we're not appreciating that there are going to be billionaires crushed in this crisis. I just did a quick review of the Hertz bankruptcy filing the other day, and it looks like Carl Icahn, who we've talked about a couple of times on this channel, he's not going to survive unscathed. He was the largest shareholder of Hertz based on the filing that I saw. He owned roughly 40% of the common stock. Now, it is certainly possible that the filing I saw didn't catch some of his recent sales and all of that. Maybe he escaped. Maybe he's repositioned somehow and converted his common stock to debt, which is going to be the first thing protected. But if he's in the common stock, that's not going to feel good. And there are plenty of billionaires getting crushed. We can go back to the restaurant magnate and casino, the guy who owns the Rockets. I forget his name, but he had to go borrow $100 million and he's paying 15% interest. So the thing that I'm seeing ripple through all of this is there are a lot of very rich people that are going to get crushed in this because they have bet on, REITs and office buildings and commercial debt, and all of that is kind of rippling and rolling up. When you shut down the economy, if you are in the service sector, if that's where your wealth comes from, you are going to feel the pain. So that is certainly coming. Couple of things again. This China-U.S. thing, man, this is going to be painful. I think, and I'll admit it, a little scary, right? When you think of what's coming, looks like Taiwan, which is where my wife is from. So, and where I was in January. God, it feels so long ago. They have pledged support for Hong Kong. Again, you probably should expect that. I did. But to do it so publicly is like poking China in the eye. And if there's any question, the U.S. will absolutely support Taiwan. And if Taiwan supports Hong Kong, you start to see the lines of support. Man, this is not the time for either country to do anything, but I do not think cooler heads will prevail. So we are going to be talking about this for the next 6 to 8 months at least. So we will see what's going on. Just so you know, we got some earnings this week starting tomorrow. I'm just going to run through a long list. We're going to see what's going on. AutoZone, Ralph Lauren, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Nordstrom's, Ulta Beauty, Salesforce, HP, and Dell Technologies. I think it's going to be much of the same. We are going to see companies with a strong e-commerce front doing well. That is probably Ulta Beauty, Dell Technologies. And then we're going to see some huge retailers win. I think the dollar stores will do fine. I also think AutoZone will do fine as people keep their cars longer. I expect Nordstrom's to have a horrible number. HP will have a horrible number. And Dell Technologies is a mixed bag because they do have a pretty good web presence or e-commerce presence, but we shall see. So lots and lots going on. We did suspend travel to and from Brazil, which you kind of saw coming, and probably the right call, frankly. So that is interesting. Also, the U.S. is again striking out against China some more. We've extended the list of companies on the quote-unquote blacklist. I don't really know what it means to be on that, but I'm assuming that means we're not selling them technology. In fact, I know that's what it means, but I don't know if it means we don't buy as well. But I would think so. So, again, not getting better. What else do we have? Oh, used cars are really depreciating. Hertz is going to have to let go of a lot of inventory. Probably going to impact Avis and others. If you've ever been in the market for a used car, I think you're going to you hold out a couple of months and you're going to get some ridiculously good pricing. Again, deflation is the thing for the short term. All these car rental companies have been suffering a long time, right? Uber and Lyft have sort of come in and not only affected the taxi industry, but also is impacting rental cars. So very tough business to be in, and it is going to be smaller going forward for certain. Then next up, the thing we have to realize is we have an election coming up. I've really not talked about it a lot previously, but it is coming. I think the election is going to boil down to which individual makes the consumer feel better. If you just play out the horizon, right? We're in May, basically in June. We know June, July, and August are going to be tough as we open up. Is the momentum coming out of what will be Q3 strong enough for us to see the future as bright? If the consumer is generally positive and feeling good about where we are, but more importantly, where we're going, the current sitting president has a decent chance of moving forward. If the consumer is upset, breadlines, the economy is still shrinking, unemployment is, 14, 15% still. History says, just logically, that the population is going to take it out on the sitting president. So it's really about the economy, right? I think it was Bill Clinton said it's about the economy, stupid. I think that's what he said. I could be remembering that wrong. It was like 30 years ago, 25 years ago. But that's what this is all going to be about. This particular election is going to be about the economy, and more specifically about the consumer, which is what all of us are tracking. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Again, I'm going to do my best not to kind of show any leaning one way or another. It's just, it's going to come down to, what do they call it? The swing states. And I think it's really going to boil down to the economy. Now, it is certainly possible that either of the party members at the top of the ticket, they could do something stupid. They could have more gaffes, if you will, that we watch on TV over and over and over again, that we make that the population doesn't like. That is absolutely possible. But I think when people get to November, they're going to be voting about their family. At the end of the day, when you walk into that booth or you do your mail-in ballot, you're going to be betting on the future. And my guess is in November, if you feel good about where we are, but more importantly, where we're going, you're going to give the current person 4 more years. If you hate where we are, you feel like we're stuck in the mud, or worse, going backwards, I believe the sitting president has no chance. So that's what I think the next, 5-6 months is all going to be about. And if I was either side of the table, those are what I would be talking about. So we're going to have to watch. Obviously, one side of the table is going to talk about how horrible it is, and the other side is going to talk about how great it will be. We're going to have to make up our own choice, and we're going to see. I think most elections are about the future, but this one's certainly going to be about the future. So it's interesting. Again, it is Memorial Day. Let's remember why it exists again since 1868. Lots of people serving in our armed forces have lost their life protecting the freedoms that we all hold dear. Take a moment. Take 10 seconds, moment of silence. And let's realize that some gave all. All gave some, but some gave all. That's what Memorial Day is about. So salute the flag, take a moment. We are where we are because of those brave men and women. But also, it's the start of summer. Let's get some joy, some happiness going. Let's feel good about who we are, where we're at, and let's have some fun. Right? These last couple of months have sucked. Let's smile more. Let's have fun. Let's get some sun, get some vitamin D, and let's keep moving forward. All right, everybody. And just so you know, my Monday interview with Greg Dickerson is still going on. We're recording it at 8 o'clock. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye.